Hey guys, we are getting close to the end of Croctober. I have done almost 31 days of crock pot meals, slow cooker meals, or dishes, or whatever. This is day 26. Yeah, we're getting close to the end. 31 days is my goal, and that's what I've done. Well, that I've shared with you. There were some days that I did not actually cook, that I did something. Well, there was only one day that I did 2 in one day because we weren't going to be home. We were going to be at the fair. But I have shared a crock pot dish with you guys every day so far for the month of October. So today is no different. We are going to be doing another crock pot dish, but this one is just the meat, well, yeah, the meat portion. We're doing French dip sandwiches. I can't remember if I've done this before or not. I know I've done something similar to this, but I didn't think I did this out of this book. And if I did, it'll be the only one that we have tried before. But I don't remember it being exactly like this, because I don't remember putting soy sauce in it. I don't know. So anyway, we're going to do the French dip sandwiches, and it's a super simple recipe. I'm just gonna bring you down here and show it to you. Honestly, don't know what else I'm doing today because I don't have clothes to wash other than the Bible study, which will be at the end of this video after the cooking part is done. But I am going to tell you something about the French dip sandwiches. Noah and Jeff like to dip their sandwiches. I don't like to actually dip my sandwich. So whenever I try it today, I won't dip it. I'm just going to try it. But the sauce will be on the meat. It's not like it's not on the meat. So I won't be trying it, dipping it, but I will try it. And the other thing is, it says on the recipe to go ahead and put the meat onto the buns and then have the liquid as a reserve, you know, like for, well, not a reserve, but have it, well, yeah, I guess it does say reserve. Let me see what it says. It says divide shredded meat evenly among rolls and serve with reserved broth for dipping. So the broth, you're supposed to just have it on the side. I'm going to go ahead and put the meat back in it. And the reason why I want to do that is because I feel like it'll keep the meat more juicy. And that's the way we've done it before. So I'm not going to go exactly like the recipe, but it's not far off. I just don't want to put them on the sandwich, on the bread, until we're ready to eat it. Because if I went ahead and made Jeff's, it would be hours before he had to eat it, and it might be soggy and gross. And I know if you dip it, it's going to get a little bit soggy, but not that soggy. So I'm just doing it that way. So I'm going to get the camera pointed down here so you guys can see the simple ingredients and the small amount of things it says to do. Also, there is another thing I'm doing differently. It calls for 3 to 4 peppercorns crushed. There's peppercorns in here. I'm not going to crush them. I do have a mortar and pestle. I've got one up there. You can't see it. That shelf is hidden from you. And I've got a big one over there. But I've also got a pepper grinder. I'm just going to use that. It'll be easier on my body. Not really, but yeah, maybe. I don't know. We're going to just go ahead and make this food. Because it takes 7 hours to make it. Or the cooking process. So we're getting started. Okay, so first of all, it says to place the roast into the slow cooker. You're supposed to have it cut in half, but I believe that's what it says. Yeah, trimmed and cut in half. I'm not going to cut it in half. Now this one, it came from Sam's, so it already has it tied up and everything. I'm going to get that off there. And it also calls for a chuck roast, which we could not find again. So we ended up with another sirloin roast. But this one is not, it's not frozen. So I actually need to get a knife to cut this. Maybe I can just get it off without, yeah, I can get it off. Oh, these are like the bands, the little rubber band type things. Now, I wouldn't want to cook with that on it because it's got elastic in it. I'm going to just sit that in there. But yeah, but that's got, I mean, I don't want to cook that. Is that safe? I don't know. I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here a little bit so I can get my measuring cup so you guys can see it. And I'm going to go ahead and start putting everything in here. Now, this is supposed to be 3.5 to 4 pounds. It's just like 3.7 pounds. It's not quite 3.5. Wait, was it 3.5? 3.7? Yeah, almost. Almost 3.5. 0.1. Alright, 1/2 cup of soy sauce. I'm going to put that in here. And I'm just going to mix everything in here. And this is the low sodium soy sauce. I should have just taken the lid off. Because this stuff is bloop, bloop, bloop everywhere. I mean, it's on my finger. It's on my counter. It's okay. Alright, so the 1/2 cup of soy sauce. 1 beef bouillon, which I'm using the beef bouillon powder, so that means 1 teaspoon of this. There's all your salt that you might have missed from the low sodium soy sauce. So at least it's a little bit better. 1 bay leaf, which I'm going to go ahead and just put onto the roast. I'm not going to put it in this. I'm just going to throw it in. Come out of there, leaf. There you go. It's beautiful. 3 to 4 peppercorns crushed. Actually, I could make it a little bit, the grind a little less, and it might be a little bit different. Honestly, I don't know how much I'm supposed to do. We love pepper, so it's not a big deal if we have more than we're supposed to have. I say that's probably about maybe enough. I don't know. 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary, 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Rosemary. This is a 1/2 teaspoon measure. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it is a 1/2 teaspoon. That's real smart. Thumb's in the way. So I'm putting 2 of these. That's why I put 2 of the other 2. Alright, thyme. Oh goodness. I've got it coming everywhere. It's coming out everywhere. It'll be alright though. There's the thyme. And then the garlic powder, which is always the hardest to open. No matter if you're trying to take the lid off or if you're just trying to do what I just did. That was about 3/4 of a teaspoon. So I'm going to let that be. I cannot believe I did that. Yes, I can. Don't lie to yourself, lady. I'm going to just kind of mix this around a little bit. Okay. Then I'm going to sit that there, and I'll show you why in a minute. I'm going to pour this over that, but now I have to put water in here until it reaches, which part? Until it's almost covered. So let me get some water and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have almost 3 cups in this whatever you call this thing I'm using. And I'm thinking that's about what I need. Oh, come on out of there. I was hoping I could get all that out. Because that's how the goodie. That's why I wasn't really... Oh, I hate that noise. That's wasn't why... What am I saying? That's why I really wasn't worried about the herbs being in here. Because then I could just wash them out. But I'm going to put a little bit more, like a half more cup. Okay, so that's about 3.5 cups. And I'm hoping I get all of my herbs. I got most of them. Alright, now I'm going to put the lid on it, cook it for 7 hours, and we'll come back. It's on low. Did I tell you all that? I hope I did. If not, now I did. It's on low. 7 hours. Okay guys, I may have to move the camera back, I'm not sure. I did let this cook a little bit longer than what it said. Probably about 2 hours longer actually, because the sirloin just didn't seem to be, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as shreddable, I guess. I don't know, but it is a different cut of meat than what was called for. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take it out, and I think I'm going to cut it in half so I can work with it better here. I'm going to bump everything I possibly can and make a million noises. Anyway, I'm going to cut it in half and put part of it back in for right this minute. It's definitely juicy. But like I told y'all, I'm just going to put it back. Oh, it smells so good. Put it back into the crock pot instead of doing what you're supposed to do and having it on the bread. Yeah, that's what that stuff is. Oh, my phone's going off. It's just a notification. It's fine. Anyway, I'm going to just shred this up. That's what you're supposed to do. 2 forks, shred it up. And then I'm going to put it back into the pot. But I'm not going to sit here and shred all of it with you guys. I just wanted you to see this. And it is shredding. Oh, it smells so good. Y'all. It just smells so good. But I'm going to go ahead and shred it up. Put it back into the pot. And if Noah wants the liquid, he can have the liquid like in a bowl, and which is what he'll probably do, which is what you're supposed to do. But I'm, like I told y'all, I'm not going to do that myself. So let me get this shredded up and I'll come right back and I'll do the taste test with you guys. I'm just going to put it on the roll. I'll show you the roll and everything. Okay, so this is the kind of roll it is. Noah has cheese on his. I don't. Mine's just the meat. And he's going to dip his. I'm not, because I just don't like that. But he did taste the meat by itself because he was helping me shred it, and he said it was good. So I'm going to taste it. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Tastes pretty good. You can taste the herbs in it. I took too big of a bite. Didn't mean to. But you can taste the herbs in it. It's good. So now, you guys can watch what comes next, which is the Bible study, if you want to stay for that. It's up to you. Okay guys, so you've just seen the taste test and all that stuff. This me right now, I don't even know how the food tastes because I'm recording this before it's done. But I want to go ahead and get it recorded because it's going to be hours and hours that I would rather go ahead and do it now. That's the whole reason. I've actually tried to start to record this several times And my camera keeps going off because the FedEx man came through and delivered a package. Got Noah some socks and some more winter socks because he liked the other pair. Well, I got him 2 pair that were in a package and he liked those, so we got him some more. He wanted me to order them because I have the Walmart account. Anyways, that happened, went off when I was trying to record, and then the garbage men came and it made the camera go off again. And I know you guys probably would not care if you heard the little bell gong sound on my phone, but it distracts me. That's the problem. But I can't turn things off because that would be crazy, because what's the point of having an alarm if you're not gonna use it? But anyway, I did want to kind of talk about the Bible study before I started the Bible study. For the month of October, I've added it to my Thursday video. Normally, or in the last little while, my videos for the Bible study was just the Bible study on Thursday. But I didn't want to do 2 videos on, well, I didn't want to do 3 videos on Thursday because I'm already doing 2. There's a planner video in the morning, and then there was my Bible study in the evening. So I didn't want to do 3 videos, but I didn't want to not do the Bible study. And the only way I could do it is either don't do Croctober on Thursdays, don't do the Bible study on Thursdays, or just combine those. So that's what I chose to do because I wanted to do both. I combined them. So starting next week, if you guys don't like me doing this, adding it to another video, I will go back to the way I normally did it. Otherwise, I will continue to do it this way, and whatever else I'm sharing, I will share the Bible study as well at the end of the video. I know not everybody wants to see the Bible studies, not everybody wants to hear it. It's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But for those who do want to see it, I want to share it, and I enjoy studying with you guys. So that's the way I want to do it. I used to do them live. As some of you know, it's just so hard for me to do them live. So I would rather just go ahead and do a video and then us talk in the comments, because that just works better for me with everything else going on in my life. And actually doing the live streams, they're not easy. I mean, this isn't super easy, but it's a lot easier than a live stream. And I feel like I have more freedom with this, with recording it, because if I want to get up and go get another book or do anything like that, I can simply turn the camera off and come right back and edit it, you know, stuff like that, make it work better. I can't do that with a live stream. Still not sure how I'm going to be going forward. I know for the rest of October, I have videos planned, like with the Croctober things. It's super simple. I have recipes that I'm going to be sharing. I have crock pot meals, slow cooker meals, whatever you want to call them, that I'm going to be sharing. But for November, I have not figured out how I want to do that yet, because I don't want to stop sharing with you guys and filming, but I don't know what's going to happen whenever it's time for me to go to the specialist. And as of today, which is Tuesday, which is pretty early in the morning, it's a little bit after 9 actually. I've been up since like 6, but it's a little after 9, and I haven't gotten a phone call yet, but who knows, I could get one any minute. So I don't really know how things are going to go with my back for that situation, but I don't have any news. I am taking medication for it. It does not make the pain completely go away, but it does help, so I won't complain about that. Any little bit of help with the pain is wonderful to me. So the only problem I do have with the medicine is it makes me very sleepy. And I've actually taken a nap 2 or 3 days in a row. I did yesterday. I did Saturday. I did not on Sunday. So yeah, I've napped 2 days out of 3 since I started this medication. And Sunday, I actually, because I napped on Saturday, I didn't sleep well on Saturday night, so I only had like less than 4 hours of sleep. And I didn't nap on Sunday, which I was more active. I was out doing things because Jeff and Noah were hunting and I was out there. I wasn't actually doing anything, but I was around other people talking. I was with Jeff's sister talking and stuff. So whenever you've got somebody sitting there with you, it's easier. Now I'm talking about sleeping and I want to yawn and I want to go to sleep. No, I'm just joking. I do kind of want to yawn though. It's just one of those things. We are on week 27 of this book. I don't even know if I asked you guys the question I meant to ask, but let me know what you want me to do. If it's either, and I probably did ask this, but I don't know. If you want me to do just the Bible study or add it. I think I did ask, but I don't know. I've tried to record this several times and I kept getting interrupted. So, let's go ahead and go to this. It's called For Such a Time as This. We're talking about Esther. Esther, from what I gather, wasn't very bold at first. She was wise, she was a smart girl, but she was also fearful. And I mean, the way I gather from the story. And I can see where that there have been times where I was fearful, but I went ahead and persevered through the things I was fearful of, and it worked out great. Not anything as great as what Esther did. I did not save my people, you know, like a whole people. But her story really makes me see that even if you do have things that are trying to hold you back, if God is with you in a situation, you can do anything. Now, there are times where you think you can do something, but God's not in it. Because, 1, you maybe didn't invite Him into it. 2, it might be against what He wants for you. 3, it could be like detrimental to you later. So God's not going to be in those things. But anyway, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But you know what? I always do that. Y'all know that. So maybe I just was supposed to say all that already. So the book of Esther is a story of a Jewish girl who was divinely called to go to King Xerxes. I don't really know how to say that. That's the way I say it. Xerxes of Persia, and intercede on behalf of an entire people. The Jews were in exile, and after the king of Persia had cast his previous wife out for disobedience, Esther had become queen via a kingdom-wide beauty contest and the help of the Lord. But her cousin and father figure Mordecai had made an enemy of the king's advisor, Haman. Oh, Haman is one I did not like at all. I mean, I don't like any of the bad guys, but he was just pretty disgusting. Anyways, because Mordecai refused to bow down to him or to anyone but God, so Haman tricked the king into decreeing that all Jews be killed. Mordecai sent word to Esther that all her people were depending on her, and she was reluctant to intercede with her husband, the king, who didn't know she was Jewish. The law said that if the king didn't request your presence, you couldn't go before him, or you might be put to death. But in Esther 4:14, Mordecai asked her, "Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this?" The rest, as you'll read this week, is history, which we've already read it, hopefully. My sister, please know that you too, this is from the book, have been called for such a time as this. Rest assured that all the things you've been through have prepared you for your now. Every battle you've had to fight and every tear you've shed have been part of your process. I've already read this, but you know, it's getting to me now. Just as a soldier has to go through training before going to war, you have gone through various trials that have prepared you for this time of your life. Maybe you're being called to as an intercessor for your family because you have experience seeking the Lord, or you're being called to intercede for your neighborhood, city, or state because you have a sincere desire for peace and unity to be the driving force on the earth. Perhaps you're being called to pray for the school system in your region because you've been so fervent in prayer for children over the years. At a time of so much negativity, you're being called to make positivity popular again. At a time when there is so much wickedness and hatred, you're being called to show love. You're being called to help restore faith in humanity. You're being called to be an influence and an example of kindness in the world. Every juncture in your life has prepared you for such a time as this. And I feel like right now my life is kind of a bit of a mess in some ways, but not in others. And I also feel like this platform, YouTube, that I have, is a way for me to show you all that it's okay to rejoice in the good even though bad is happening. And right now, there's a lot of good happening for my family. We bought our property. Everything's good with that. We've made some progress. We haven't really done a lot, but what we have set out to do, we have done. Mostly I sat in the truck, but we have help from loved ones. We have a lot of good going on in our lives. But we also, and I say we because I'm not the only one dealing with my back issue. Jeff and Noah are too. We're dealing with this. We're dealing with the possibility of me having to have surgery again. Because as I've told you, this scar, people think it's from thyroid surgery. It is not. It is from cervical spine surgery. I've never had my thyroid operated on, even though I do have a thyroid disorder. But anyway, the situation I'm in is not just affecting me. Jeff's not sleeping well, so please pray for him. I'm being serious. Please pray for him. I'm not sleeping well. Like, I can go to sleep easily because of the medication, but I wake up in pain. So I'm back and forth, and sometimes I just have to get up. It's a lot of I don't want to say worry because I don't like to use that word. I'm not really worried about it, but it's a lot of, like, I've thought, why is this happening again? What did I do to cause this? But I didn't do anything. I cannot think of a time that I did anything to cause my back problems. I have not had an accident. I didn't do any, like, sports or any different things like that. There's nothing I have done to cause it. So the only thing we can figure out is this heredity, or hereditary. Is that the word? Either way, I think it would have been correct. But we're going through a trial, but we're also going through good things. And here on my platform, I can show you guys that. On YouTube, I can show you that, yes, I'm in pain constantly, but I'm still able to do the things I need to do, mostly. But where I can't do those things, I do have help, which I am gracefully and gratefully taking. I am accepting. I am not refusing at all. But I know that it's affecting Jeff and Noah. I know that it is because I see it on their faces. I've talked to Jeff. I've talked to Noah. And I tell them, don't worry about it. There's nothing we can do. Let's just take it by as it comes, you know, stuff like that. So I'm not saying I'm better than other people, but I can say, because I've experienced something like this before, because I have gone through things before, I am prepared more, because God has prepared me, and He's prepared me to not fall apart not feel sorry for myself. And yeah, there's been times whenever I fell apart. Yes, there's been times where I have felt sorry for myself, but they don't last. And also, I'm hoping that I can encourage you all through whatever is going on in your life, whether it's a health issue or a family issue or whatever it is, that you can get through it with God's help. He is always there. And through that situation, you can go ahead later on and possibly help someone else. You might be helping someone else now. You might be one of the ones who have encouraged me, because several of you have reached out to me through email and things like that to encourage me, and I am so appreciative of that. So maybe you were brought to me for such a time as this. And I feel like that's what we need to do. We're not going to be Queen Esther. We're not going to be able to save all of our people. I really wish we could. Then again, who knows what God's going to do? Because she didn't do it. God did it. She was just the vessel. And if we're willing to be the vessel for whatever, then we can help with whatever we need to help with. We can be what God wants us to be. And there's been times where I have made a video and I've said something and then I started editing and I'm like, why did I say that? But if I edit it out, it makes me sound like a crazy person and you guys would miss a bunch of things, so I leave it in, and then later on somebody will say, I'm so glad you said that. It'll be just the thing they needed to hear, when I'm thinking I sound like a goofball. You know, so don't second guess the way God is using you. I am learning to not second guess what he does or I'm not going to just say anything off the wall and think, oh, well, that's God. No, I'm not doing that. But as long as I'm seeking him, he's going to guide me, is my point. And she was seeking God. She prayed. Let me go to, I've got the book marked. I don't have what I want to go to marked, and hopefully I can find it in here really quickly. I can't turn pages. I just can't. Okay. Okay, so this is what she said in chapter 4 and verse 15, the promise of Queen Esther. Then Esther bade them return to Mordecai this answer: Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go unto the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish. So she fasted, and fasting was something, well, it is something you do to seek the Lord's guidance. And it's a, I can't think of the word I want to use, probably lack of sleep, but it is, it's something you do to help you. Anyway, God tells you to fast. I should put it that way. He tells you to fast. So she had all the Jews, all of her maidens, everyone to fast for 3 days, and so Mordecai went and did all that did according to all that Esther had commanded him. So she was not just going there and saying, I can do it, I'm going to go do it, I'm going to go tell that man, She was not doing that. She sought God first. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to seek God and then go forth. Go ahead and do what he says. So, I know this study was a little bit more about me talking about what I'm going through and the things I'm learning through it, but that's what I know is me. I know me. And I know what I'm learning through my struggles. And yes, I know what I read in the Bible. I know what I learned from it. But my experience can help you to not feel alone, maybe. To make you feel like you can go forward through whatever trial you're going through. Because God is going to be there if you invite Him into that trial. You can't just do it by yourself. You can't. There's no possible way for us to fight the battle with Satan without God's help. It's just not possible. So, I guess that's all I have to say about that. I really didn't have much to say, even though I thought I would talk a lot about Esther, because I really like her. Alright, so next week is Maintain, and we're going to read Job 1 through 21. Now, Job was a dude. He went through all sorts of things that I couldn't imagine. And quite honestly, I didn't like his wife at all. But that's what we're reading. I will put it on the screen if I can remember, and I will put it down below. Job 1 through 21. 21 chapters. You've got 7 days to do that. But anyway, so I guess that's all of this video. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And let me know what you want me to do with the Bible studies. Do them alone or with a video, with whatever else I'm doing. It may not be cooking. It may be something totally different. I don't really know what I'm doing in November. We'll see. I don't normally plan what I'm doing like that, like ahead of time that much, but I feel like right now I need to, because of what's going on with my back, because the things I normally did I can't really do right now by myself, and the things that I can do by myself, I have to do it so slow, and I have to do it like, well, not all the time. Sometimes I'm okay. The pain is minimum. But I have to take a lot of breaks. I'm just going to say that. I have to take a lot of breaks. I cannot sweep and mop. I can't even use my vacuum mop right now. I can't really vacuum. Jeff helps make the bed, or he makes it himself. We usually do it. We've been doing it together, which we do have a rule that whoever gets out of it last has to make it. And he gets out of it last mostly right now. I'm still able to wash clothes and dry them and fold them. As long as I don't let them pile up, I'll be able to fold. Like, hello, turkey. That was not the camera. But as long as I mean, I can fold them, but if I have too many, I hurt worse. So if I'm just doing 1 or 2 loads, I'm good. So, okay, I talk too much. I'm sorry. The camera shut off. But anyway, I can fold a couple loads. It's fine. I can wipe down the counters. I'm fine. I can clean the sink, do things like that in the bathroom. Now, the tub is a whole different story. I can wipe it down, but I can't do the deep clean like I want to. I can do small things, but I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to be sharing in November, but we will figure it out when the time comes. I may go back to taking Mondays off, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that either. We'll see. We'll just see. I've got a few days to figure it out. Not many. Just a couple. To definitely figure it out. But who knows? We might do some... See, we don't do a big Thanksgiving thing. We don't do a big Christmas thing. We might do something. I don't know. We'll see. That's all I can say. So... hopefully I'll see you again next time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know I've said part of this. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you like my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell so be notified whenever I upload. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.